Hello, people. We are back on the road to Wonder Woman 1984, and today we are talking about a very interesting movie in the DCEU, if I do say so myself. Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice, or Batman v Superman, whatever the fuck. Excuse me. Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice was released in 2016, directed once again by Zack Snyder, and tells the story of Batman having a conflict with Superman because of the events of Man of Steel, and also Lex Luthor getting involved, and Lois Lane getting involved, and a lot of other people getting involved. Oh, Batman versus Superman. You know, it's funny. When I first saw this movie, I was, how old was I? 14. I want to say 14, right? Or, no, 13. 13. And I was not very intelligent. Now, this review isn't going where you think it's going, trust me. But I'm just saying, when I saw this movie for the first time, I fucking loved it. There were people that were like, oh, this was not good. I think my buddy Elijah, who's been on podcasts before, was like, this was not good. And right off the bat, I'm gonna say, is Batman vs. Superman a good movie? It's okay. Is it bad? No. Is it good? Kind of. There are good things about it. Is it great? Fuck no, it's not. But I don't want to say it's a bad movie, because I can watch it and enjoy things in it. It's a love-hate relationship I have with this movie. Let's talk about the things that I really like. First of all, right off the bat, Ben Affleck as Batman is fucking awesome. I don't give a shit what people say. Ben Affleck was a bad Batman. Shut up. Ben Affleck as Batman was awesome. He was dark, he was menacing, he was legit. He plays a great Bruce Wayne, and in the action sequences, he's awesome as Batman. Fantastic. Jeremy Irons as Alfred. Great casting. I love Alfred in this movie. Henry Cavill, once again, Superman. Awesome. You know, he kills it. He's great. Amy Adams does what she can as Lois. It's not her fault. It's the script, which we'll talk about. But she is good. She doesn't give in a bad performance. Diane Lane, once again, as Martha Kent. We'll get into that. As Martha Kent is... I'm sorry. As Martha is very good. Lawrence Fishburne as Perry White, awesome, once again. The action sequences are also very good. They're very well edited. You can see what's happening. The score also, once again, by Hans Zimmer and Junkie XL. And I think this was the team. Don't quote me on that. I know Junkie XL definitely worked on it. I don't know if Hans Zimmer did, but I know Junkie XL definitely worked on the score for Mad Max Fury Road, one of my favorite soundtracks of a film, period. So he does a great job once again. In particular, my favorite themes from the movie were Batman's theme, that boom, 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 boom. It plays in the warehouse scene. And Lex Luthor's theme, I also very much like. I think it's called The Red Capes Are Coming on the soundtrack. Speaking of the warehouse fight scene is fucking incredible. One of the best, if not the best, Batman action sequence, period. The only other competition is maybe the Batpod chase from The Dark Knight. That is it. That is it. Other than that, there's no competition. This is the best, and that's even a stretch, because the reason that chase is so good is because of the intensity with Harvey Dent and the Joker. But this is the best combat motivated action sequence involving Batman in a movie, period. There is nothing that could top it. Nothing. What else? The Batman vs. Superman fight, while short, is very enjoyable. I enjoy it. The third act, also, there are things I don't like in it, but the overall structure of it, kind of. I want to say, okay, the action within the third act is really entertaining, and it is cool. Also, how could I forget? Gal Gadot, or Gal Gadot, whatever, however you say her name, as Wonder Woman. Awesome. We'll be talking about her shortly. I meant, like, review-wise, you know, movie. You get it. She's awesome as her. This is probably my favorite version of her. I don't know why. She's like a better version of Captain Marvel in this movie. Like, they tried making Captain Marvel like a sarcastic asshole, I guess. I don't know. That's how I perceive Captain Marvel as a character. I gotta be careful, you know. I could get some hate just for fucking saying that. But, I feel like Wonder Woman did that better in this movie. That's just me. What else do I like? There are certain themes in this movie that I really appreciate. Also, the Batmobile chase when Batman's trying to get the kryptonite, fucking awesome. That is awesome. Great stuff. The nightmare sequence, while a bit confusing, and I'll talk about that in a second, it is confusing, but visually it looks awesome. The cinematography in general in this movie is really good. It looks like a really nice movie. The nightmare sequence is well crafted. The music and the look of the scene is great, you know, and it's just really the look that sells it. You know, it's all great. What else? I'm trying to. There is a lot. I'm not trying to hate on this movie. The ending also. The ending I thought was ballsy, but you know, it was a cop-out ending because they just immediately went away with it. The mix. There's one mixed aspect I want to talk about, and it's not negative for me. It's a negative for a lot of people. It's not a negative for me, and I'll explain why. Jesse Eisenberg is Lex Luthor. Let's talk about it. So, do I hate his performance in this movie? The answer is no. Why? For one, Jesse Eisenberg is a great actor. He's a great comedic actor, shown in Zombieland and Superbad. What was it? Superbad that he was in? He was in one of those comedies. If it wasn't Superbad, it was Adventureland. You get what I mean. He's really good. He's a really good actor. Now You See Me, Social Network. He's a really good actor. Do I think he was right for this role? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. The writing for him is good. It fits the persona of Lex Luthor. But did it fit Jesse Eisenberg? No. Because... Ooh, sorry, I just lowered my volume. Because to me, I feel like... I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. He's missing something. He's missing something. I feel like if they had gotten a different actor, say maybe Michael Rosenbaum, who was Smallville's Lex Luthor. I know. It's a different universe, dude. At this point, Arrowverse confirmed, Crisis on Infinite Earths confirmed that everything is connected. So realistically, who fucking cares? I don't think it would fucking matter. But I don't know. There's just something about it that I don't hate, because there are lines that I like from him, like when Lois calls him insane, or she says something and he goes, "That's a..." I forgot the line, but it's a really good line. If you guys have seen the movie, you know the fucking scene. But there are great lines with him, but it's just the performance is not for him. I don't blame it on him. I just blame it on the fact that Warner Brothers went with somebody that wasn't right. And it's not his fault, because he's giving it all. Jesse Eisenberg is not somebody who half-asses things. He's giving it everything that he can, but it's not his fault. I personally don't blame him. That's just me. Moving on to the bad. Right off the bat, the script in this movie is really not the best. There are things in this movie... Oh, I forgot to mention this in the beginning of the review. I watched the ultimate cut of this version of the movie, not the theatrical version. I watched the ultimate edition, which was 3 hours at 30 minutes. I wanted to touch on that real quick. I think the ultimate edition added some things that really helped the movie. move a little bit better, but at the same time, it doesn't take anything out. And this is a good transition into the script. It doesn't take anything out. So when it doesn't take anything out, you're still adding things that, yes, these are good changes. However, you still have the bad changes or the bad things that were not changed. And on top of that, it just makes it even longer. I was damn near half asleep by the end of this because the only real changes come in like the first 30 minutes of the movie. And again, there are good changes. The biggest difference, I think, was probably the opening scene. Not the opening, like the opening action sequence where it's when they're in the desert and the whole thing with Jimmy Olsen and all that shit. I think that was the biggest difference. That's where you really see what was going on. And the theatrical cut, I was so confused. I was like, what the fuck is going on? This, how the Ultimate Edition helps flesh it out. But other than that, the script in this movie is really poorly written, I thought. There are a lot of things that I'm just like, what? There's so many things where it just doesn't make any sense. For example, this is the one that everybody fucking harps on. Oh, why does Batman kill? Batman kills people! Dude, really? It's a different version! Are you really gonna sit here and cry because he kills? Yes, I know we're not used to Batman killing people, but it is a different take on him. I personally don't mind it. And I'm somebody who loves the Dark Knight. Dude, Batman's not a saint, dude. He killed Ra's al Ghul. I don't want to hear that shit. He killed Ra's al Ghul in the Dark Knight trilogy, and Batman Begins, to be specific. He killed Harvey Dent in the Dark Knight. Believe it or not, yes, people hide that fact. He killed Harvey Dent, dude. And in the Dark Knight Rises, he kind of aided to Talia al Ghul dying. Also, he didn't do anything to help her. So stop sitting here saying, oh, well, Batman doesn't kill. He's never killed. Yes, he has, bro. Let's talk about the nightmare sequence. The nightmare sequence is so weird. If you are not a fan of comics, if you don't understand what this is alluding to, like, I would imagine if I went and asked, or if I was seeing this, if I could go back to when I saw this with my mom for the first time, and, excuse me, and I asked her, Mom, do you know what's going on? She'd probably be like, no. Like, she would understand that it's a dream sequence, but she wouldn't understand what necessarily is happening. And that's the problem. It expects you to know, oh, this is Darkseid, this is Apocalypse, oh, this is supposed to be Flashpoint Paradox, oh, this is supposed to be alluding to Injustice. It doesn't help you. You just see Batman going into a Mad Max wasteland, shooting people with guns. That I have a problem with. I don't give a shit what timeline it is. I don't like Batman using guns. The killing thing is one thing. I don't like Batman using guns though. That's a little reaching. The only version of Batman I can accept using guns is fucking Thomas Wayne. But I feel like the nightmare sequence was just so weird, and then you get the thing with the Flash, and it's like, what the fuck is happening? Like, I was legit confused in the theater seeing this shit. I was like, what the fuck is going on? You're like alluding to 5 different storylines, and on top of that, you're trying to tell 2 different storylines also. You're fucking alluding to Injustice, the Injustice storyline where Superman is a dick. Then you're alluding to Flashpoint Paradox. Then you're alluding to fucking Darkseid coming and the Apocalypse War happening. Then, in your actual movie, you're telling the story of The Dark Knight Returns, kind of. And you're also telling this entire new story that you're making up. There's too much going on in the script. Things needed to be taken out. Speaking of things needed to be taken out, let's talk about Doomsday. Listen, the trailers for this movie ruined the entire movie. They showed everything. The only thing they did not show was Superman dying. That was it. Oh yeah, that's another storyline. Death of Superman. You shoved in this movie. But listen, they showed the entire movie in the last, like, trailer. They showed everything. They showed Batman and Superman fighting, then they showed them teaming up, then they showed fucking Doomsday coming. I don't get who approved that. Whoever approved that, please suck my ass. please and thank you. Because you showed everything in that trailer. Whose call was that? These studios need to stop showing everything in the trailer. Stop it. And on top of that, I don't like Doomsday in this movie. I don't. I really don't. The first time I saw the movie, I was like, why is Doomsday in this movie? And I've rewatched this movie many times. And every time it gets to that third act, I ask myself, why is Doomsday in this movie? I don't get it. Why is Wonder Woman in this movie? Is she awesome? Yes, she's awesome. Why is she in this movie? For what? To set up Justice League? Yeah, because this movie did such a great job at that. We'll talk about that in a second. But I mean, why is Wonder Woman in this movie? She serves no purpose other than to help these clowns fight Doomsday. It's so stupid. You take out Doomsday, you take out Wonder Woman being forced. Or what you could do is just have it be that... Hold on. Have it be that Batman and Superman are fighting. But you still have the Wonder Woman thing where she's trying to track down the fucking picture of herself and the other metahuman files. And that's it. You don't have her show up, and she doesn't need to show up. Why? Because this movie only needed to be about Batman versus Superman. It did not need to be Dawn of Justice. It did not need to be a fucking huge team-up movie. It did not need to be them fighting Doomsday. This is ridiculous. They're rushing everything. And on top of that, what happens now when eventually, hopefully, we get a Man of Steel sequel? You can't do Death of Superman anymore. You already did it. Even if Flashpoint retcons everything, which I pray to God it does, you can't do it. We already did it. We're not gonna care. It's so stupid. Fucking ridiculous, man. I don't get it. Why? Why waste the best storyline? The one thing that I think they did really good in terms of storylines was The Dark Knight Returns. You can clearly see that Zack Snyder is a fan of the Dark Knight Returns comic because, you know, the suit is straight up from that comic, and it looks fantastic. You know, and now that we're on that, the Batman versus Superman fight, yes, it's entertaining, and yes, I was surprised in the theater because every time I was watching the trailer, I was like, dude, how is Batman gonna fight Superman realistically? Because every trailer, for the most part, just showed Superman kicking his ass. And then, you know, they get, you know, in the movie, they show, oh, Batman has kryptonite weapons. And I was very surprised by that. I was like, holy shit, that's awesome. You know, that was a great way of, you know, and I love the line, you're not brave, men are brave. I was like, oh, that's awesome. You know, and when Batman gets the advantage on Superman and he just starts kicking his ass, that shit is awesome. But the fight is too short. It lasts like 5 minutes. And I really just... I was like, we couldn't just have this be like a Freddy... Like, dude, they did Freddy vs. Jason better than they did Batman vs. Superman. Why? Because I'm not saying Freddy vs. Jason is a better movie than Batman vs. Superman. I'm just saying that in terms of the versus concept, it's better. Because they fought multiple times in the movie. And the movie was only focused on them. Everything surrounded them. In this movie, you have things surrounding future movies that don't even matter right now. You have Wonder Woman opening a fucking email to find video clips of the Justice League. Poorly made Justice League tie-ins that are just like, oh, here they are. Here's the Flash. Here's Aquaman. Here's Cyborg. We'll see you in 2017. I mean, dude, really? That's the best way? We couldn't just have this be like a post-credit scene where it was cool? Hell, the Suicide Squad post-credit scene was better than this. I'm not gonna spoil it in case, like, 3 of you haven't seen Suicide Squad, but Suicide Squad has a much better post-credit scene that starts up the Justice League better than this. This was awful. Let's talk about, Martha. Save Martha! Listen. The scene is fucking terrible. The concept of the scene is good. I love the fact I don't think anybody ever thought of this. The fact that Martha, that they both have the same, their mothers both have the same name. Never thought of that ever. I love that twist. But the way it's executed is so fucking stupid. He just says her name and they're best friends. Like, what? It's so stupid. We couldn't just take out fucking Doomsday, take out Wonder Woman, and just have it be this big versus movie. They give you glimpses of that, where they show you how Superman does not believe in what Batman is standing for because of what he's doing. You couldn't just have it be that Superman is trying to take down Batman because of what he believes, and Batman was trying to take down Superman because of what happened in Man of Steel. How hard is that? You can't make a 2.5-hour movie about that, or 2 hours. You can shave down hour English, half an hour of this movie, and it would be fine. There was a lot that needs to be taken out of this. The best way to describe this movie is a mess. There are things about it that I really, really, really like, but overall, it's just a mess, and it's disappointing. And honestly, I think DC rushed this. They really did. But we'll talk about rushing things when we get to Justice League. But as for right now, I've come to be really frustrated with this movie. Because there are things in this movie that are fucking awesome. Again, Ben Affleck is Batman. Fucking awesome. Superman is great. The action is great. The cinematography, great. Some of the themes in this movie are also great. But again, it's that script, man. There's so many things in this script. Doomsday, Lex Luthor, Wonder Woman, that it's hard to get into, man. If I were to rate this, I would see if I could give it a 6. I couldn't get to a 6. But I would give it a 6. It is an above average movie that unfortunately is disappointing. It has great action, great visuals, great acting for the most part, a great score, some really awesome action sequences, and great emotional sequences too. But then again, it's just that script. The script bogs the fuck out of this movie. Thank you guys so much. I hope you guys are enjoying this very bumpy road. It's a Wonder Woman 1984, if I do say so myself. From here on, it's going to be beyond bumps, you know, up until Justice League. After Justice League, it's a pretty clean road, if I do say so myself. But thank you guys so much. I hope you guys are enjoying this. Be on the lookout next week for the review of Suicide Squad. That should be interesting. You guys are the best. Thank you guys so much. Please leave a like and subscribe. And I also hope you guys enjoyed your Thanksgiving. And yeah, stay safe. See ya.